The sun dipped below the horizon, shadows stretched across Daxing district, neon lights flickered to life. The humid air hung heavy, thick with the smell of exhaust fumes and street food. A sense of anticipation, of hidden secrets, pulsed beneath the city's vibrant facade. Daxing district was alive. People from all walks of life crowded the bustling streets. Street vendors hawked their wares. Laughter and conversation filled the air, but beneath the surface, an undercurrent of unease lingered. An unspoken fear whispered on the wind. The locals knew this was a place where darkness lingered. The air grew colder as night fell. The shadows deepened. A sense of unease settled over the district. The laughter and chatter seemed to fade away, as if the city itself was holding its breath, bracing for something sinister, something lurking just beyond the veil of darkness. Daxing district had a secret, a dark history whispered in hushed tones, a legend that haunted the darkest corners of the city. And tonight, that legend would rear its ugly head once more. Lanjisu Internet Café was a hive of activity. The click-clack of keyboards and the glow of monitors filled the air. Gamers, students and night owls alike sought refuge in its brightly lit interior. The aroma of instant noodles and strong coffee permeated the room. Lanjisu was more than just an internet cafe. It was a community hub, a place where people from all walks of life could come together, to escape the pressures of everyday life, to lose themselves in the digital world. The energy inside was palpable, a chaotic symphony of human interaction and digital escapism. Laughter erupted from a group of teenagers huddled around a game. A young couple whispered quietly in a corner booth. A lone businessman typed furiously, his face illuminated by the cold light of the screen. Each person lost in their own world, oblivious to the darkness gathering outside. But tonight, the usual energy felt different, tainted, as if an unseen presence had slipped through the doors along with the evening crowd. The laughter felt forced, the conversation strained, even the air seemed to crackle with an unseen energy. The clock ticked closer to midnight. The once crowded cafe began to thin out. Only a handful of patrons remained, their faces illuminated by the flickering glow of their monitors. An eerie silence descended, broken only by the hum of the computers. The air grew heavy, difficult to breathe, as if an unseen weight had settled upon the room. The temperature dropped, sending a chill down the spines of the remaining patrons. A sense of dread permeated the air, thick and suffocating. One by one, the remaining patrons gathered their belongings and left, casting uneasy glances over their shoulders as they hurried out into the night, leaving behind an unsettling silence. The only sound, the hum of the computers and the distant rumble of traffic. Outside, the wind picked up, howling like a banshee through the narrow streets. The neon lights flickered and dimmed, casting grotesque shadows that danced across the empty cafe. The stage was set for a night of unimaginable horror. Section 4. A prank gone wrong. A group of teenagers lingered outside the cafe, their laughter echoing in the stillness. They were regulars known for their boisterous personalities and reckless pranks. Tonight they had a plan, a prank to end all pranks. They believed it would be harmless fun. They were wrong. Their target, Lanjisu Internet Cafe. Their weapon, a bag of fireworks. Their motive, a twisted sense of amusement. They didn't intend any real harm, just a little scare, a little excitement. But some lines should never be crossed. And tonight, they were about to cross one. One of the teenagers pulled a lighter from his pocket. His grin was malicious. His eyes gleamed with mischief. He lit the fuse of a firework and tossed it through the open window of the cafe. The others cheered, their laughter echoing in the night, unaware of the inferno they had just unleashed. The firework landed on a pile of paper cups near a faulty electrical outlet. Sparks flew, flames erupted, the fire spread with terrifying speed, engulfing the cafe in a matter of minutes. The teenagers watched in horror, their laughter dying in their throats as the realization of their actions hit them. They had made a terrible mistake. Flames roared through the cafe, the air filled with thick black smoke. The heat was intense, suffocating. The remaining patrons and staff scrambled for the exits. Panic surged through the crowd, but there were too few exits and too many people. Screams pierced the night, desperate cries for help. But the fire was relentless, consuming everything in its path. The flames danced and swirled, taking on grotesque shapes that seemed to mock the terror unfolding below. As if the fire itself was alive, hungry, and it fed on the fear that permeated the air. Then something impossible happened, something that defied explanation. As the flames reached their peak, engulfing the café in a fiery embrace, ghostly figures began to appear within the inferno. Their forms twisted and contorted by the heat, their eyes burning with an eerie, otherworldly light. The ghostly figures moved through the flames, unaffected by the intense heat. Their eyes fixed on the fleeing patrons, their expressions filled with an unimaginable rage. As if they were seeking revenge for a wrong that had been done to them, a wrong that had occurred long ago. The fire raged on, engulfing the entire building. Flames reached towards the sky, casting an eerie orange glow over the surrounding buildings. The fire department arrived, sirens wailing, lights flashing, but it was too late. The café was beyond saving. Firefighters battled the blaze for hours, their faces grim as they fought to contain the inferno. But the fire seemed to have a life of its own, fueled by an unseen rage. It was as if the building itself was rejecting their attempts to save it, as if it wanted to burn. As the firefighters battled the blaze, the ghostly figures continued to appear within the flames, their forms shifting and changing, their eyes burning with an unholy light. They seemed to watch the firefighters, their expressions unreadable, as if they were judging the efforts of these brave men and women. The fire was finally extinguished in the early hours of the morning, leaving behind a smouldering ruin. The air was thick with the smell of smoke and ash. The once bustling heart of Daxing district was now a charred skeleton, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded.